King Agamemnon has a favor to ask of you.
Of course he does.
The story begins on a hill, when a group of emissaries walk up to a commoner looking for the king of Ithaca. The man on the hill, looking down to them, responds with shockingly disrespectful words about the king.
You ought to respect your king.
Words that surely could be uttered by none other than the king himself.
I hope Agamemnon's generals are smarter than his emissaries.
Are you?
And just like that, in less than 2 minutes of screen time, our introduction to Odysseus feels layered and sophisticated. You can just feel the gravitas pour right into your soul as you think to yourself, why does this man I literally just met make me feel things? This is Sean Bean in Wolfgang Petersen's Troy, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most perfect marriages of actor and character in modern cinema. But we somehow got shortchanged, so I have thoughts. Is it just me, or do some castings just feel inevitable? I mean, certain actors bring an unexplainable cerebral touch to a role that you simply cannot quantify. Be it with Christopher Reeve as Superman or Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, they feel like the character right down to their bones. Their underlying artistic frequencies just happen to perfectly match the soul of the fiction, so much so it becomes difficult to picture anyone else in the role. Sean Bean has that exact resonance with Odysseus. Yeah, it's no wonder when we look at the kinds of men he usually plays, from the rugged Richard Sharp in the Napoleonic Wars, to the tragic Boromir in The Lord of the Rings, and later the rigidly honorable Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. We can make sense of our underlying pull toward him. The man has spent a career playing soldiers. He brings to life men of the earth, leaders who are intimately familiar with the mud, the blood, and the heavy burden of duty. This kind of typecasting is a philosophical anchor. When we see Sean Bean on screen, we inherently trust him. We already associate his face with loyalty, physical exhaustion, and a quiet, grounded strength. So when he steps into the sandals of mythology's greatest tactician, we immediately buy it. He brings an innate gravity to the role without having to say a single word. In reality, Sean Bean is famously known for his completely unpretentious approach to his craft. He once admitted he never actually intended to be an actor. He just found out he was quite good at it, combining his love for using his hands and his imagination to make things. He doesn't overcomplicate the emotion with artistic pretension, none of that method acting stuff. He simply understands his character, steps into it, and when it's over, leaves it at the door. It is precisely that down-to-earth, workman-like mentality that makes his historical characters feel so real. Add to that his striking ancient look, his deeply weathered skin, sharp eyes, and a gravely northern cadence that makes you believe he actually just stepped off a wooden galleon or survived the battlefield.
War is young men dying and old men talking. You know this.
He even sounds like a man who has lived a hard, physical life. All of these elements combine to create an Odysseus who feels historically authentic, yet dangerously intelligent. And I couldn't help but compare this to Nolan's adaptation. I love Nolan's work, but as I've said before, he was fundamentally the wrong director for the story. Nolan gave us Matt Damon as Odysseus, and what we got was a stripped-down, sterile, and emotionally detached performance. Instead of exploring the legendary tactician, it focuses almost entirely on the PTSD of the Trojan War and Odysseus' supposed guilt. Damon plays him like a moody, one-dimensional sci-fi protagonist. There is no exploration of his wit, no charm in the painfully basic dialogue, no joy in his cunning. It is a dry clinical study of trauma that misses the essence of the character, robbing Odysseus of his greatest foils and ashamed of celebrating his brilliant part in winning the Trojan War. But Sean Bean's Odysseus, on the other hand, is a celebration of the character. Even in a movie where he is strictly a supporting player, we get to feel Odysseus in his entirety. We feel his wisdom, his arrogance, his powers of persuasion, and his sheer strategic brilliance. Look at how he handles Achilles.
Prince Hector's, he's good a warrior, as they say.
The best. Some say he's better than all the Greeks, too.
Odysseus knows Agamemnon cannot win without Achilles, but he also knows Achilles despises Agamemnon.
Forget Agamemnon. Fight for me.
So, what does a brilliant tactician do? He neither begs nor appeals to Achilles' sense of duty, because he has none. Instead,
We're sending the largest fleet that ever sailed. 1,000 ships.
Odysseus strokes Achilles' desire for immortality.
This war will never be forgotten, nor will the heroes who fight in it.
And then pivots.
Even if your cousin doesn't come, I hope you'll join us, Patroclus.
He courts Patroclus. He praises the boy's form, knowing fully well that Achilles will be compelled to protect his young cousin.
Play your tricks on me, but not my cousin.
It is manipulation of the highest order, but Bin plays it with such a warm, brotherly smile that you almost forget you are watching a trap being set. Now that's deep psychology. That is the mental sensation of watching a man who plays people like chess pieces, but genuinely loves the pieces he plays with. We see this intellect shine again when the Greek army is humiliated by Hector at the gates of Troy, following a disagreement between Agamemnon and Achilles. The morale is shattered. Agamemnon is throwing a tantrum, but Odysseus sits, quietly observing before stepping in to set him straight. In the face of an egotistical tyrant, he provides sound advice with a firm voice.
It's no insult to say a dead man is dead.
Bean delivers the lines to perfection, with the right blend of a prideful king and the rationality of a man who understands the threat in front of him. He is the smartest man in the room, and he uses his intelligence to bridge gaps. It is precisely this sensitive touch that manages the egos of the men around him and resolves the stalemate.
The world seems simple to you, my friend, but when you're a king, very few choices are simple.
Troy's Odysseus is soulful. He is rounded. He has a sense of humor and a deep well of charisma, something entirely absent from Matt Damon's dreary portrayal. Sean Bean makes you believe that this is a man who could outsmart gods, a man who could navigate the wrath of Poseidon and find his way back home. He somehow makes the myth feel incredibly human, but at the same time, outerworldly. But what breaks my heart, and probably yours too, since you've made it this far, is Sean Bean played the perfect Odysseus, but he never got to play him in a standalone movie. We finally get the Odyssey movie, but 20 years too late for Sean Bean to be cast. It is a genuine loss for cinema. When I watch these old scenes from Troy, there is a tangible longing I feel, a longing for a time that is no more. A piece of cinematic history I could almost touch. A reminder of an era when filmmakers crafted well-rounded, genre-accurate, profoundly impactful characters, rather than settling for flat avatars in sterile worlds. There is an everlasting connection we form with stories when the perfect actor is cast. They become the definitive face of a legend in our minds. Sean Bean is the Odysseus that never was, but we should have got. He captured the wit, the tragedy, the charm, and the brilliance of a man trying to think his way through a world of gods and monsters. Of course, we'll always have these brief shining moments in Troy, but we're left to wonder about the masterpiece that could have been.
Is that it?
No, but I'll be in the Mind House if you care to join me.